As we know, Bill O'Reilly hates the grievance industry. And as we all know, the grievance industry, according to Bill O'Reilly, is made up of pretty much anybody who is not a land-holding white man, who doesn't have a show on Fox, and might occasionally point out that there are systemic inequities in this country, or even just that rich white dudes may occasionally not do nice things. And this grievance industry is so powerful and so singularly all-encompassing that Bill O'Reilly sees its dark tentacles, and I do mean dark, at work in every sector of American society. Let's listen to what Bill O'Reilly has to say.
The protests of the 60s and early 70s brought about profound change, and many of the radicals back then have become the authority figures today, especially.
Okay.
Who? What?
Well, first of all, yeah, there were changes, like the Civil Rights Act, like the Equal Voting, like the Voting Rights Act, like
radical,
like the birth of the women's rights movement, like people saying, I'm not really thrilled with dropping napalm all over Vietnam, like the creation of the modern environmental movement, those sorts of things. Yeah. Anyways, keep playing.
I know that when I'm watching Fox News, I'm just in awe of all the radicals from the 60s that are on TV.
What he means is radicals from the 60s were people who came out and went to the occasional protest and maybe now are college professor who donated a couple $100 to Obama. And then if you want to go down that track, how many people from the 60s who were, quote, radicals are writing right-wing think tank reports and appearing on Fox as neoconservative nutcases, very far from their hippie radical roots, you demented old fool. Keep playing this clip.
In the media. But now we have a new anti-authority movement, and it has been created by the grievance industry, which President Obama and the Democratic Party have used very effectively to assume and maintain power. The grievance industry basically says that America is not a fair nation, that the deck is stacked against minorities, women, the poor, gays, atheists, Muslims, you name it.
For sure.
And the bad guys are white males,
mostly
the Republican Party,
definitely,
and anybody who doesn't buy into the grievance industry.
Absolutely.
The politically correct national media has legitimized the grievance mongers instead of challenging them. Thus, race hustlers and ideological fanatics and other folks who do harm,
like Bill O'Reilly,
power on TV networks and in the political arena.
Like Bill O'Reilly.
And these folks are ruthless. If you go up against them, the pushback will be intense, and the liberal media will be on their side. That awful situation is leading to chaos and confusion in this country. Here are two stark examples of what the anti-authority movement can do. Santa Barbara County, California, for a big party. It didn't take long for violence to break out.
Okay, I can't play any more of that clip because I literally feel the brain cells seeping out of me as I listen to that. Bill O'Reilly goes on to talk about a party that turned into a riot in Santa Barbara and blame it on the grievance industry, which I frankly, the only race hustler I know in America for sure is Bill O'Reilly. That's what he does every single night on television. As for the grievance industry, he outlined things that we know empirically are true, you stupid motherfucker. We know that being born in a certain zip code makes your chances of success much less likely. We know that your racial background will get your exposure to the police and exposure to abuse infinitely more likely. We know that women don't earn as much as men. We know that gay people are just starting to get the right to have marriage equality in 2014, and most states still discriminate against them. We know that massive wealth inequity has led to a debt bubble that, in terms of personal debt, that harms millennials and young people. So I don't know about a grievance industry. I know about people trying to create a reality industry to actually address real problems. And I do know about bloated, overfed multimillionaires who sit on their asses every night playing off of the racial fears of retirees and attempting to distract from meaningful solutions for anything that America faces. Now, that said, I will say, speaking as President Obama, the grievance industry is a huge fan of the drone program. So we do use the grievance industry a lot. I mean, but even besides the joke, what has he taught? President Obama has ran a totally centrist to center-right Democratic administration. You know, I'm going to tell you something. If George Bush was president, and I wouldn't vote for him, I wouldn't be a fan of him, but if George Bush was president and he said, in interest of compromise, the first thing I'm going to propose is a Democratic health care proposal, tax cuts that mainly favor the middle class and working class people, probably do something about the environment, a couple of financial regs, just in the nature of compromise. I wouldn't be freaked out. I'd be like, wow, we have a moderate Republican president. That's awesome. They cannot even take the reality of what Obama gives them every day in terms of moderate to centrist to center-right policies. Plus, he goes to the White House and disrespects him. And Obama keeps his patience. Maybe says, look a little bit more often. I mean, Bill O'Reilly knows exactly what he's doing. And that's why I can't ever drop it. In some ways, it's the most cynical expression of this stuff on television. And he is mainstream media.
I don't know. It sounds to me like Bill O'Reilly's got a grievance.
Oh, yeah. Bill O'Reilly's got plenty of grievances.
Maybe he should join up with the grievance industry.
He's got plenty of grievances, and I know of no better race hustler.